Hello, this is Mark Vila with ColDesi, and today we're going to customize a sneaker. So we've got this sneaker here. It's got a little bit of a canvas style finish, and we're set up on our Hotronix Fusion IQ Heat Press with our shoe platen. So if you're not familiar with how this heat press works, you can actually unlock the bottom here and remove and replace different platens. Some of them are just standard type of platens where, big 16 by 20 or a smaller one for youth clothing, and others are particularly special, like this shoe one, or there's even a can cooler one. So let's show you how this works. So I've got my shoe here. I've got a DigitalHeat FX white toner transfer right here, and this would be on a 2-step easy peel paper. We've got some heat tape and our flexible finishing sheet. So I'll show you all how this works. Now, as far as time and temperature and things like that, I do want to start off with just a simple footnote, that each shoe you're going to work with, each style and brand and things like that, the materials are not going to be exactly the same. So the time and temperature is going to be particularly hard to pinpoint down. So what I typically recommend is, as you're working with this and testing it out, start with how you would do a t-shirt. And if you do find that it's not transferring well, you can try bringing that temperature down a little bit, and you can try adjusting the pressure, maybe adding a little bit more or a little bit less pressure. But the key is just have some patience, and you'll definitely be able to do something unique that not a lot of other shops are doing. So first thing we're going to do is push everything aside and go ahead and get this in here. The goal of everything that we're heat pressing ever, period, is just try to get it as flat as possible. So we've got that on there, what appears to be the best way we can do it. We'll go ahead and we'll get our transfer. And another thing that I'm trying to do is I'm going to try not to get it right by that seam or right by this raised area, because the pressure is going to be a little bit uneven there. But it is important that I'm on the platen. So I'm kind of feeling like how you feel if your shoe fits your kid, right? You kind of use your finger there, and I feel the bottom of that platen. And if I put it right about here, it's on the platen, and it got a little bit of distance from these. Hopefully that will be enough. So let's go ahead and tape this in place. The next step is we've got our flexible finishing sheet. You can find this on colemanandcompany.com. It's a really great tool for doing any type of transfers, particularly white toner transfers. This product's good is because it's got a little bit of flex to it that when you are heat pressing an uneven item like this, it can really help to give you more even pressure. I'm going to do it as one layer like this. Sometimes you can even find it to double it up like that if you need to for the type of transfer you're doing. So let's go ahead and press this. So what we've done is we removed it from our heat press. Since this is a white toner transfer, if you know about them, they do need to be completely cool, and you can even use a cold pack to help cool your things down and keep them really cold. Now, one thing about shoes, like working with other items like hats, which is different than, say, a t-shirt, is that they will retain heat. So you really want to make sure you let this cool down all the way. So let's go ahead and get this peeled off. So now we have our transfer on our shoe using our shoe platen, and the last step is going to be a finishing press. We always want to finish when we're doing a white toner transfer, and we're going to do it the same way we did before. Nothing too complicated here. Get it onto our press, cover it with our flexible finishing sheet, and finish it. So now that we've pulled it out of our heat press, this can hold a lot of heat. As I mentioned, a shoe can hold a lot of heat, so sometimes I'll give it a few seconds before I'll lift up my finishing sheet. And now that that has happened, we lift this up. I'll pull it off so you can get a nice view. But you can see the flexible finishing sheet really helps to give that texture of the shoe in there, so it looks like, even though it's really popping off the shoe, it also looks like it's part of the shoe. It's meant to be there. All right, well, thanks for watching our video on putting a digital heat effects transfer onto this canvas style sneaker. It looks really cool. It's a very unique offering, and you're not going to see this too often done by your competition. So if you're curious more about the digital heat effects system, then you can visit digitalheateffects.com and live chat with one of our pros.